I'm not one to be dreaming dreams normally and stuff, but I am gonna tell you about the dreams I had last night. So the first dream was I had inherited a house, right? A man and his wife and their newborn had died in a plane crash, and I acquired their home, right? And it was everything that represents wealth that you could think of, they had in their home. Like they had to be billionaires, right? It was like even the nursery for the baby was out of control, right? Just so much stuff. And I was walking through and I was like, at first I was oohing and ahhing, right? And I was oohing and ahhing. I think I was like in a random room and I found like jewelry and I was like, dang, because everything was in the house. It was fully furnished. It was fully loaded. You understand? With money, like people that have money have bought things of value. So everything in the house was of value. And um, I just remember I was like in my own head, just walking through. It was just me in there, and all of a sudden, it was like a ton of people in there. Right? It was a ton of people in there looting, and I was like, at first I was like, well, I don't care because I have my little stuff, my little jewelry and stuff that I have found. You know, that alone is worth what I need, right? But then I walked into the nursery and I was thinking it's a sister on here that she's getting ready to have a baby and she had just put up her registry. And so in my dream I was thinking I'm gonna go into the nursery and put together a goodie box for her, right? Because I know they got a bunch of stuff. And I go into the nursery and it's like 4 TV screens in there. I told you it was over the top. The house was over the top, but it's like 4 TV screens in there and they all have like movies playing, right? And it's a ton of people in there. And I'm like, what the, right? And so I walk out of that room and I walk into a closet and it's all these dope shoes, red bottoms and whatever. I remember seeing blue velvet, whatever. It stuck out in my head, blue velvet, right? And like, I remember getting mad because it was like a dude that transformed, right? That's dressed like a girl, right? And I kicked off, there was these shoes on the shelf and they was all oohing and on and getting ready to take them. And I kicked them off the shelf and I was like, you don't need these shoes, Michael, right? But Michael looked like Missy, right? Like a girl, right? And like Michael didn't care what I said. He just reached down and picked up the shoes I kicked off and went on his way. Now, two things that's very important here is one, this is newly acquired stuff, right? That I really don't care about. Like I really don't care about shoes and stuff like that. I don't have no baby, so I don't care about a nursery, right? But I was getting irritated because people was just taking everything in the house, right? So like I had just got the dream was I got a house full of stuff and I was all excited and I was walking through and tripping off what these people bought, right? It was no weird stuff, but it was just a lot of extravagant things. And then the next thing I know, it's all these looters in there taking all that stuff, right? And at the end of the dream, I just remember like shaking my head, like, forget it, I don't care, you can have it. I never really had it anyways, right? I just got it. And I woke up, and when I woke up, my knees was shaking like they was knocking together. And I was like, what is this? This is weird because I don't, like I said, I don't be dreaming dreams. I don't remember dreams. I don't be having nightmares. I get prayed up before I go to sleep, and Daddy God be covering me in that, right? But I felt in my heart I need to talk to God. So I went outside. It was like 3 in the morning, and I started talking to him. And I was just like, you know what, Daddy? I don't want nothing you don't give me. I don't want to have a bunch of extra stuff, people stealing. I just don't even want to deal with that chaos. You know what I mean? And then I felt good enough, like I was shaking for some reason. I felt good enough to go back to sleep. So then I went back to sleep. The second dream, and I slept like a baby, right? But in this dream, I was in a hotel and I was like trying to get a room or something. And homegirl was like, oh, we're going to put you up on the 80th floor. And I was like, what's the 80th floor? I was thinking to myself, I don't like heights. What if there's an earthquake? You know what I mean? As I'm going up the elevator, I'm just like, ooh, I don't like being up this high or whatever, right? And I get up there and it's like people with money. It's nothing but people with money up there, right? On this 80th floor. And it's like Um, instead of like just one floor on a hotel, it's like 4 floors in height, and it's like weird stuff going on. It's not like weird, like perverse or sexual or anything like that. It's weird, like things that people with money can buy that I never seen before. You know, like I remember seeing somebody, two people sitting in this like cart thing, I guess. It's like an elevator, but it goes sideways, so it goes across the floor. You know what I mean? And it's a big space. It's like a gymnasium almost, but goes up like 4 floors, right? And it's like plants, and it's just a whole nother world up there. They done made the outside look like you're down on the ground, right? But I am in this little hole in the wall type situation, right? It's like a little bar with two waitresses, and I'm hungry and I'm asking them for food, and they're like, we just make stuff like hamburgers and fries and stuff like that. This isn't a full course restaurant. And I was like, that's fine, I'll just take something to eat or whatever. And so after I had that interaction with them, a few more things happened I don't remember, but then I went back downstairs. And when I left, I was walking out the door to leave. I was leaving the hotel, right? And this lady is my ride. And she's driving the car with this piece of cloth that looks like a belt. Like she's using the belt to steer. So she's like, she drives off and she like takes the belt cloth thing and pulls it like this, and the car turns, right? There's no steering wheel. And I'm just like thinking to myself, are you good? She's like, I'm good. I'm driving you home or whatever. So whatever that dream meant, I didn't feel anxiety towards it. I felt safe, right? And I was talking to my brother tonight, and he was telling me, well, this dream is probably, 8 means success, new beginnings, money. You getting ready to do something, right? And as I pair that with the other dream of me just out the blue, somebody giving me a house that has all these things in it, all these fancy things in it, right? And um, as I'm in that house, people is taking stuff. I realized to myself, Daddy God probably getting ready to elevate me, right? But he's preparing my mind to not get attached to the things. He's showing me before it happens what happens, which is when you get a lot of money, people take your stuff. You see what I'm saying? People plotting on you on how to get your things. And a lot of times people think success means you're going to get away from that energy, but it's not. It draws that energy to you, right? So at the end of that first stream, I wasn't even tripping. I was like, just take it. You probably need it more than me. I can't. I remember thinking to myself, I can't hold all this stuff. I can't protect all this stuff. You see what I'm saying? My hands aren't big enough and I don't have nothing to put it in. So I guess, you know what I mean? After talking about it and sharing it with my brother, sharing it with y'all, what I would say is that transfer of wealth is getting ready to hit. That transfer of wealth is getting ready to hit, but it's not going to look like what you think, meaning this. Yes, you will acquire things, but they are not just for you. There are other people that need those things as well. They're for you to share. There's a lot of people. I had gotten a verse earlier, if you go back through my videos about being needy. There's a lot of people that need things. And as long as you're not selfish, you'll be fine. If you get selfish, you're going to end up going through some things, trying to keep stuff that you can't even use, right? It's going to be so massive, the transfer, that you trying to hold on to something is not even going to make sense. It's people that need those things, and you're being blessed for those things by Daddy God to give to other people, to share with other people, to help build other people up. Don't be fooled into thinking you're going into a wealthy place and you're going to isolate yourself. You're going to be by yourself with all that money. That is not what this is. This is you have gone through some things and you know what it feels like to do without. Amen. And this is Daddy God putting things in your hand he can trust you with. Don't make the mistake of holding on to them instead of putting them where they need to be. Amen. God bless you.